What's going on, everybody? Toby coming at you, and today is the 28th, I think, the 28th of September. We only have 2 more days left in September, and then we hit October. 3 months left in 2025. Holy crap. So anyway, I apologize. I have been working all week on the other video, and it's been a complete, for lack of a better term, it's been a nightmare. So, because it ends up, so here's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to go over very quickly with this, what happened with the colonoscopy 2 weeks ago. It was on the 16th of September. I'm going to go over that, and then I'm going to explain to you real quick. I'm going to go briefly over what happened for the colonoscopy. And then throughout the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be cutting out and releasing video content from the segments preparing for and involved with that colonoscopy so that you guys can see it in its short segments, because the monster nightmare that it was, with all the clips that I did, trying to give all the detail I could, not TMI, but just details to help with anxiety and stress of other people, it ended up being almost an hour-long video, and I wouldn't want to put anybody through an hour-long video like that. So this is going to be in chopped up sessions, so you can check it out when it comes out, okay? So stay tuned to the channel for those pieces. So I did the prep for the colonoscopy on the Monday, the 15th. And again, I'll do an unboxing of the prescription stuff, and then I'll do a video. I've got a video done for me drinking the preparatory, the clearing stuff, we'll just call it that, right? So I did that starting. The fasting started at noon on Monday. I took my first dosage of the move prep is what it's called, starting at like 6 p.m. that evening, okay? It was to take the second dose of the movie prep 4 hours prior to my appointment. So that would have been 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. My appointment was at noon, Tuesday at noon, and I got there and they whisked me right in. There was no sit down time. There was no wait time. And that might be different from hospital to hospital, clinic to clinic, okay? But they zipped me right in there. I had to, you'll see a picture here. I had to put on the patient gown. I had to put all my clothes in a bag. And then they brought Kylie back in there as they went over the legal stuff, the medical stuff. You know, they kept asking me my full name, date of birth. They kept asking me if I had eaten anything in the last 24 hours. When was the last time I ate something or drank something? Then they asked me if I had any latex allergies. And then and then what happened was the lady asked me that. That was like a tech or a nurse or something. She was asking me that. And then the anesthesiologist came in and they briefed me on what I was going to be given. Propofol is what it was called, to knock me out. She said that I'll either feel a spicy feeling in my arm or I'd feel a cold chill. Well, I felt the spicy feeling, and right after that spicy feeling, I was out. But after the anesthesiologist came in, the doctor came in on top of them, like all 3 of them were like right on top of each other as far as coming into my room, okay? Doctor asked for any questions, allergies, that kind of stuff, right? And then they went in there and said, we'll see you inside there. So they rolled me in there. I did, if you have to do this, it's not abnormal. Before they started rolling me in there, I said, hey, I do have to go to the bathroom. So I had to pee. So they said, no problem. There's a bathroom right down here. Go to the bathroom, come back over here when you're done, and we'll roll you in there. And they wheeled me in there. So they were asking me questions all throughout the time of the prepping. I learned that the doc that was doing the procedure was a Army Navy veteran. He had started Army and ROTC, and that ROTC program got shut down while he was there. So then he shifted over into the Navy and got commissioned there. So they rolled me in. They brought Kylie back about 12:14, sent her back out to the waiting room around 12:35, 12:40-ish. And then, so guys, this is crazy. At 12:40 is when they sent her back and they wheeled me back in there, right? At about 1 o'clock, a little after 1 o'clock, the doctor called her with the results. Negative results, cool stuff. So when you have negative results, you don't have to go get another one for like 10 years. they called her, and then they wheeled me into the recovery room right around 1:04 in the afternoon. And that's where I stayed there until I woke up, and then they called her back there. And you'll see another clip of that where she recorded me kind of getting briefed by the doctor or the RN or the anesthesiologist, whoever it was, that briefed us about leaving and diet and recovering from the propofol and how long it would take and all that kind of stuff. So, they discharged me at roughly 1:35 in the afternoon. Okay, so appointment was at noon. I was wheeled back by 12:40-ish. And we were out by 1:30. So the entire process was less than an hour and a half, including calling me back, me going to the bathroom, changing clothes, all that kind of stuff. It was very, very fast, very efficient. They were all very polite. I had to go to the bathroom before the procedure because I had a kind of a concern of, what if what if I involuntarily urinate or something on the table while I was in there? Guys, they have professional staff members, nurses, whatever. They're all prepared for that kind of thing. They see or experience that stuff all the time. So they do 20 to 30 procedures roughly a day. So depending upon where you're at, okay? Only other major things you want to think about with this colonoscopy piece is when you schedule the colonoscopy, right, count on them telling you, so they discharged me at 1:35 is when we discharged, but they briefed me that I'm not medically allowed to drive, make legal decisions, or operate heavy machinery until 1 p.m. Wednesday, okay? So I chose Wednesday just to not go to work at all because I would usually be off from work at 4 in the afternoon. So my thought process and the way I think is if I'm driving to work at 1 o'clock, it's less than 3 hours of actual work I'm going to get done. So why waste the time, right? So that may not be your option, but think about that in your scheduling process, because when you're done with the procedure, with the propofol or whatever it is they inject into you to knock you out, you're not going to be able to return to work or anything for 24 hours after that. So whether if you can schedule in the morning, might be a better time to do it. Aside from that, so the one thing I had to do also was they kept asking me repeatedly when the last time was I had taken any of my blood thinners. And again, this is the one reason why I'm including this. One of the two reasons why I'm including this in the cardiology, open heart surgery, repair, recovery piece, okay? The reason why I'm including is because I had to stop my blood thinners in order to do this procedure. Why? Because if they did find any polyps, they'd have to cut them. If there was a minimal number, I don't know what that number is, but they would cut them out and remove them, and that would cause bleeding, excessive bleeding if you had blood thinners. So you got to stay off those. So I had to stop taking them on Thursday prior to that appointment on Tuesday. So 5 days before, I had to stop taking them. The other reason why it's not as important was because I had originally had my colonoscopy scheduled for February, and they actually called us on my phone after the open heart surgery while we were in the recovery room, and Kylie took it and said, hey, he can't do this procedure because he's coming out of open heart surgery. So those are the primary two reasons why I'm including this whole event and experience in the recovery of my open heart surgery, okay? Because it got interrupted, and then because of the blood thinners. That is a key factor for the blood thinner piece. You cannot be on them while you're preparing for a colonoscopy. Like I said, this is the stuff that I was trying to cover in this other video that was long, because I was trying to include, I did a video on the unboxing of the Move Prep. I did a video on the mixing and taking of the first dose. The second dose, you don't need to see that. It wasn't gross. It's just, it's a repeat of the first dose. So just a different time of day and different day. So I did a video on that. We did a video. She recorded me in the room after the surgery. That'll be a third video. So like I said, I'll have these all posted. I'm not gonna stretch them out Sunday to Sunday to Sunday to Sunday. I'll include them over the next week or two maybe to let you guys check them out. Aside from that, I don't think there was any other major stuff. I'm reading my other notes again. This is crazy because it's nuts, y'all, because I made like 3 pages of notes, you know, to go over when I initially went over this video last weekend. And as I was trying to put all this together, like I said, that video was getting longer and longer, and I think it ended up being like 53 minutes, so it wouldn't even work. It was just too dang long. I didn't want to torture y'all with that. So that's all as far as the colonoscopy. As far as health and recovery goes, I will tell you all this. As you know, I've been taking pictures of my chest scar and the leg scars every day. I'm going to show you here that it's really weird right now because I'm starting to get some touch sensation on certain areas of the scar of my chest, and other spots are actually, there's soreness, irritation on that. It's not like rash, it's just, I don't know, it's like like I've said this before in previous videos, like when you rub too hard against your skin, that kind of irritation. It's like, you know, go away. But it's not every single day. It's getting a little, guys, if you're going through this, I'm telling you, it's getting better a little bit every single day. It really is. So don't be discouraged if you're going through this, whether it's here in your legs, wherever they did the graft from, the body, the muscles, it's the nerve, you're going to get your touch, the sensation of feeling back. It's coming back. Not everybody's going to be perfect. I'm not a doctor. You guys know this. But don't be discouraged. Do not fight the depression if you're getting it. Fight the moodiness, the mood swings, the emotional roller coaster. It's there. I get it. I'm there. We were watching a movie last night and I was tearing up over something. I'm like, what the hell am I doing this? Why am I tearing up? So I get it. Like I said, I'll show you. There's areas, like I said, that are feeling kind of normal. By like me rubbing my finger over the scar, it's kind of blended back in with the skin. There's no bumpiness in like small spots. And like I said, I'll show you that. And on my right leg, the feeling, I still don't have feeling over top of the scar itself. And then around, probably go about an inch, maybe inch and a half, out from the scar all the way around it, and that area still has no sensation of feeling or touch. So aside from that, we're getting back into being active, walking and stuff. So diet is progressing smoothly. Just gotta stay focused and heal up and keep recovering, right? As I told you on a previous video, the cardiologist said they want me at above 55% of efficiency in pumping in the chambers by February. That's when my annual is. So, got to stay focused and stay positive, okay? Your thoughts can help with that, okay? Stay focused and stay positive in your thinking. But that's all I have. Again, watch for those other videos. They're coming. Just, again, they're nothing... They're just interesting. Something you might be able to see if you haven't already done this. This is what you can expect to experience possibly with the being knocked out, how you wake up and all that. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Hit me up on Facebook or Messenger or Instagram. Feel free to, guys. Thank you for watching these. Everything you guys are commenting is really helping others and me. And it shows a lot of support and helps encourage others to know they are not alone. So until the next video, y'all take care, stay safe, God bless you.